What's up, everyone? This is the Next Take podcast with Mikel
And Tanyka.
we have conversation on different topics. So this is another special Netflix edition for the month of April. Um, so like we do the last 3 months, me and Tanika share at least three or more shows or movies that we watched during the month of April, and we kind of discuss it and let you guys, what's the word that I'm missing, Tanika?
Uh, well, I don't know.
Well, we'll let you
We
guys
discuss and, we discuss kind of our thoughts on the shows that we watched and um yeah, that's kind of the
yeah,
gist of what we do
yeah,
with
and
these.
basically, if you guys like the shows, you guys can, watch it at home and, enjoy them. Um, and yeah, that's basically what this episode is all about. Discussing what we just watched on Netflix during this month, and then right after, we usually just give you the uh,
What's to come.
what's to come,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So,
Who's
what do
going
you want
first?
to? I think you should go first.
I should go first. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the shows that I watched, then I'll go more in depth with,
Hmm.
um, is I think I'm gonna do four just because like the last one is more of just like a shorter. We'll talk about it when I get there.
Yeah.
Um, but the first show that I watched, which I think I definitely talked about it coming up last month, was the Gone Girls, the Long Island serial killer documentary that came out. I believe it came out. What month are we in? I think it came out on March 31st. So it literally came out like right after we recorded the last one. But um this was one that again for true crime serial killers, true crime serial killer, true crime uh fans, quote unquote,
Hmm.
um will know this very, in depth. So for Mikkel,
Right.
you probably won't know. Um this one was about the killings that were happening in Long Island. More so, they were
Hmm.
coined the Gilgo Beach five. There was many, many more than just those five victims, but they were basically being dumped at this Gilgo Beach in Long Island, and they didn't know who it was. They didn't, no clue who was doing this. Clearly, this person had been doing it for years, but like they just didn't know who. There's been so many podcasts that have covered this case, made for TV movies that they've done for this case.
Hmm.
And they finally, very recently, like this dates back, I think, 2010, or maybe even before that, was like the first victim. But, and again, they didn't find all of these people until there's one particular person named Shannon. I think that's her name, Shannon, um, disappeared. Um, and they found her after. But anyways, um, they finally found the person who was doing it. They figured it out
Hmm.
very recently, like 2022, I think. Um, so it was just kind of doing all of that in these three episodes. It was pretty good. There was things I didn't know before, and it was a pretty well done documentary.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
highly recommend. I think at the time that
Hmm.
I'd watched this, I know it doesn't say that it was. Oh yeah, it was number one in TV shows at that time, which I watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched it like either the day it released or the day after.
Hmm.
So it was number one. So yeah.
Okay.
The next thing I watched, this was a movie.
Hmm.
It was called The Blackening. It was um supposed to be like a horror
Mhm.
type movie, but it's also like comedy. And it played on like the typical horror movie, except they're all black people and it kind of I guess like how black people handle horror type situation. That's where the comedy kind of comes from.
Mhm.
Um, I actually really enjoyed it. It was really funny. Um, the horror, I mean, was pretty typical. Um, but basically it was just a bunch of friends going to an isolated cabin to have like a friends weekend type situation. And they had to play this, well, they were playing this game where they were kind of led to play this game called The Blackening. And it kind of had like a Jumanji feel to it.
Mhm.
The thing had blackface, so there's the
Mhm. Mhm.
racism. The twist at the end was I kind of called it. I think maybe anyone who watches it might call it as well, but I kind of called it and I was right.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed it. It was fun. Um, yeah. Actually came out in 2023 and I only watched it recently, so I'm not sure if it was a movie that came out and was released on Netflix after, but I I enjoyed it. The other thing that I watched was called Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. This
Mhm.
is another documentary. I wasn't too sure if I was gonna like this or want to watch it, just because like I don't want to see anything that has to do with, kids being influencers and stuff. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Um, and of course this rubs me the wrong way as well, but I still enjoy the documentary. Um, it's just, the dark side of kidfluencing, parents being more concerned with their children being influencers and being a kid. Um, it was well done, I will say that. It was number one in TVs the day that I watched it. I think it came out in April as well. So if you're into stuff like that, you want to see it, go for it. Just be warned, you're probably going to be pretty upset the way I was upset.
Mhm.
Because again, I feel like kids should just be kids. They shouldn't be on YouTube. Anyway, the last thing that I watched um, was North of North. Have you seen the commercials for this, Mikkel?
I haven't seen nothing about that. No.
Okay. It's a Canadian show.
Mhm.
It's really good. Anyone that I've talked to about this show has said, "Oh yeah, I've seen the commercials or I've heard about this show. I heard it's good." Um, it's really good. It's very easy watch. 8 episodes, 20 or so minutes each. Um, yeah, so it is a Canadian show. It's based in um Nunavut. I can't remember the town name. Um, oh, it's called Ice Cove. Um, Nunavut, and it's like the people who live in that community, which is mainly like
Mhm.
indigenous people. Um, it's a really, really good show. I really, I can't hype it up enough, really, because I thought it was really, really good. It's kind of seeing this woman kind of get like her
Mhm.
life back in order. She marries young, kind of kid young. Marriage is kind of falling apart, and she kind of wants to get back to herself. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was such a good show. It was number three at the point I watched this too, so
Mhm.
I highly recommend that as well.
Okay.
That's what I watched.
All right. So for me, I didn't watch anything. Dun dun dun
Hey,
dun.
it's not like I don't warn him, y'all, because I do. He knows the schedule.
Yeah, I know. I know the schedule. I just didn't watch anything on Netflix, but there's like shows and like and movies that I watched. Uh, I don't know if you already discussed it already. You season is it season five?
We are
Uh,
on season
it's a
five, so
fun
you
yeah,
finished the whole
finals
seasons then.
yeah final season.
So you
That's
did
where,
finish. You finished the other seasons.
yeah, I
Okay.
did. I did.
Okay.
I did. I just didn't watch it in this month. I watched it like in March, the final day of March. Pretty good.
Right. Well, do you
Um,
watch the four seasons and then in
yeah,
anticipation of this one? Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Black Mirror season 7. I seen season 6. Wasn't that good. Wasn't a fan of season 6. But I was a fan of the first 5 seasons. Really good. But I remember season 6. It was during, I think it was during after the pandemic,
Mm.
and it wasn't that good. Maybe because they had troubles with like pacing and storytelling with each episode on season 6. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. And then last one I want to watch is Weak Hero. There's 2 seasons, so there's class 1 and class 2. And basically is looking at it, I think it's about a student who, it looks like a K drama that students getting like, bullied by these groups of people. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm getting from the vibes of this trailer. Uh, but I want to watch that, and that's basically it. Um, when it comes to that, so I'm going to be watching that all in May, and then I'm probably going to be watching a couple more in May as well. So like, yeah, yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much it.
Well, I guess you don't have any honorable mentions because you didn't.
Honorable mentions. All
Yeah.
right. Don't really have any honorable mention this month. I didn't hear anything like, buzzing, to be honest with you. The only show, and it's animated, um, was Devil May Cry. It was honorable mention for me that I
Mm,
would probably watch. And it's basically an anime based on a video game. Uh, I think we talked about it last month in our what's coming up
mm,
last month, and yeah, that's basically it. Well, actually, have you seen this Pop the Balloon live show?
no,
Yeah, but
no.
I seen it
I
on you.
heard of it, but no.
I seen YouTube versions of
Hmm.
it. Shout out to Arlette. She's the one that is the producer on the Netflix one, and also the host on the YouTube one. That and her husband, run the show together. But she's basically the host of the show, and basically the YouTube version is like it's like it's only you only their rules is set like this: only Black people are allowed to be on the YouTube version of the show
Hmm. Is there a reason for that?
because I'm guessing they want to showcase Black love.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's their forefront.
Hmm.
But on like Netflix is a different story. I think it's more diverse, right? So
Right.
Netflix, I'm guessing they want more broad, more diversity, more, you know. I guessing they did pitch that to Netflix,
Hmm.
and Netflix probably wasn't like, why, So, um, but yeah, it's another notable. That's another not another notable. If you guys want to watch that, I know everybody's not a fan of the Pop the Balloon videos online. I know like there's been clips here and there, and some of them are funny, some of them are just like, yeah, a little cringe, But
Mm.
yeah, that's that's basically it, I would say.
Okay. Well, for me, honorable mentions is kind of, um, Mikel mentioned you. I have started that. We're not gonna talk about it too much yet. I'll wait. I think we'll wait till next month. We can kind of just talk about like what we think of the season and everything. I don't want there to be any spoilers yet at this point because
Mhm.
it's just been released. But
Mhm.
I will say I'm on episode, I think 3. Um, and it's so cool to see. I don't remember her name, so don't scream at me. But it's so cool to see the chick from Pitch Perfect on it, and I kind of like that. I'm like, that is her. So that's kind of cool. But I'm not gonna say anything else besides that. Besides, I am so happy to see Joe in my life, even if it's for the last time. And so that's it. We'll talk more about that next month.
Okay.
Um, my other thing that I've watched, now this is, I'm a little late in talking about it, but I think I mentioned it last month too, was Temptation Island. I watched that, and finished it. And I also watched the reunion podcast episode that Files did. Um, yeah, that, the show was good. Don't get me wrong, it was dramatic. It's everything you want it to be. Um, but it was also really triggering to watch as well because I mean there are two narcissistic men on this, at least two narcissistic men on the show that you're just like, are you for real? Like just to break it down for you, I don't think I'm spoiling anything at this point. It's been out for a bit. Um, but when you have one person having sex with somebody in a bathtub, it's the men. The men are problematic. Um, and then wants to say, but I forgive the girl that I came here with because basically, the like the premise of Temptation Island, where basically it's couples coming on and then they split up and they're getting tempted by
Mhm.
people living in the house with them of the
Mhm.
opposite sex. So when you have like this guy having sex with one person and then it's like, but I forgive my girlfriend for X, Y, and Z, and it's like, what did you need to forgive your girlfriend for again? Because you're the one
Mhm.
who cheated on her a million times, but okay. And then you have another one who is so like, I want a Christian woman, but I also want a woman who wants to have threesomes. Make that make sense. And he literally ends up having a threesome with two women and that's in the house and is like, I have no regrets because now I'm not going to hold it over my girlfriend's head.
Mhm.
That pissed me off even more so than the other guy because I'm just like, this, I think I'm more upset because I thought he was hot. And so when he
Mhm.
did that, I'm like, "Oh, you're ugly now." Okay. So
Yeah.
definitely got triggered by that. So there's that, but I made it through. Um, and then I've probably taken a little bit of a break on Dexter, and I'll explain why in a second. I took a little bit of a break on Dexter, but
Dexter was Dexter like was you inspired by Dexter a little bit or was it like,
I don't
um
know. Only because I can't remember if I heard Dexter is um a book or not, but I know You is based off a book. So I'm not sure about that so much. The difference with Dexter and Joe is
Mhm.
any kind of, okay, this is maybe a little bit not too much of a spoiler, but he kind of says in the show that like, oh, bad people, you kind of want to deal with like bad people and kind of get rid of all the bad people or everything. Joe doesn't kill just quote unquote bad people.
Mhm.
Joe kills his love interest who finds too much out about him. Bad people, sure, he's in that too.
Mhm.
Um, but he doesn't just target quote unquote bad people. Whereas Dexter, for the most part, targets bad people. Sure, he might have a slip up and kill someone who wasn't,
Mhm.
but which definitely has happened in the at least the 5 seasons I've watched. He definitely has slipped up and killed someone who he thought was bad. It turned out it wasn't. But he mainly targets bad people. Um, and rids the world of the bad people, usually murderers.
Right.
So that's the difference between the two of them. But I don't know. I never really thought they were necessarily influenced by one person or another, but I don't know. But I've taken bit of a break on it. Um, but I did get to the point where we see Julie Stiles, and I'm like, oh snap! Here she is
Mhm.
acting again. I feel like it's been like I know she's kind of been acting a bit more, and I know obviously this is older, the fifth season of Dexter, but it's kind of cool because I haven't personally seen her in anything. I know she's done other stuff, but I haven't personally seen her in anything in a really long time. So it was really cool seeing her, and she looks the same. It's insane. Girl is an age, but I've gotten to like that part of it of the fifth season for those people who remember fifth season. Um, but I've taken a little break, and the reason I've taken a break is because I've been watching Golden Girls, and it's
Are you
so
having fun
good.
watching it?
Oh, I'm having so much fun watching it. It's so good.
Mhm.
It's um yeah, I mean I've fallen in love with all of them. Um Obviously seeing Betty White is, you know, makes
Mhm.
my heart happy, but I've fallen in love with all of them and like the stories of like of some of them and what they've kind of gone through before they were, you know, acting and it's so good. And like
Mhm.
B. Arthur, she was in All in the Family, which is,
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Like that's so cool to me. So I'm definitely having fun. I'm still in the first season. I think right now currently on episode 21. Um, but I'm loving it. I love the Golden Girls. I don't know what took me so long to get on board with the
Mhm.
Golden Girls, but I love the show. So that's definitely an honorable mention.
Awesome,
Anyway,
awesome.
I think that's
Uh,
it.
that's it.
So we can kind of go into what's
What's to come?
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Sullivan's Crossing. Did you know that's on Netflix?
So what?
Sullivan's Crossing. It's a CTV show. I didn't know that that's on Netflix at all. Anyway.
Hmm.
Oh my God,
What's
it's
happening?
happening.
What's hap-
Fair Street Prom Queen is coming on May 21st, 3rd, sorry. Yes, you're gonna remind me about that one. Um, so basically, this one's gonna be about who will be voted queen at Shady Side High's 1988 prom. So y'all, this is before everything has we're not spoiling anything.
Don't
This
spoil.
is
Yeah, no.
after they figured out Nick Good's a part of it, the whole family's a part of it. This is before they've stopped him. So we will be seeing some characters that we were maybe not expecting to see again. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Um, so for underdog Lori, I'm not sure who this is. We'll learn soon, I'm sure. Competition is cutthroat even before someone starts killing off the candidates. So more on
Mm.
that. Um, Another one coming out on May 23rd is called Forget You Not. This one looks interesting. So it's an aspiring stand-up comedian turns her struggles into heartfelt humor as she balances work and relationships while caring for her aging father. It looks like a Korean show. It looks interesting, actually. Um, so uh there's a documentary I think coming out called Turning Point, the Vietnam War. It's coming actually, so it's coming out on Wednesday. So yeah, actually, by the time this has come out, it's actually out today. So this one's called this thought-provoking documentary series examines the harrowing consequences of the Vietnam War, from the Gulf of Tonkin incident to the fall of Saigon. Um, ooh, The Rookie is coming on Netflix on May 1st. If you're interested in that, I might because I used to watch it and I kind of stopped. So who knows? Um, then there is the Four Seasons. This one looks like it has Tina Fey in it. This one's the decades-long friendship between three married couples is tested when one divorces, complicating their tradition of quarterly weekend getaways. Um, then we have one called, I think it's Angie or Angie, Fake Life True Crime, the limited series coming on May 1st. Sentenced for the murder and impersonation of her friend, this documentary sheds new light on, I think it's Angie, and the death of her husband years before. Huh. Okay. Well, um, Fred. Oh,
But
this is one for true crime people. This one's a lot of us should know this one. Fred and Rose West's British horror story is coming on May 14th. So, for those who don't know, recently discovered police recordings and first-person accounts tell the story of Fred and Rose West, two of the UK's most prolific murderers. So, that one. Carol G, I think she's a singer, right? I think she's a singer.
yeah,
Anyways, Carol G, I think has a show coming out on May 8th at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So maybe this is a live show. I don't know. But yeah, so that's coming out. A Deadly American Marriage coming on May 9th. Murder or self-defense told from both sides. The documentary explores the killing of Jason Corbett during a dispute with his wife and her father. So that's coming out. Sirens. I don't have a description for this one, but I think sirens, I think like mermaids. I don't know, but it's called Sirens coming on May 22nd. Um, Bad Thoughts coming on May 13th. A collection of hilariously disturbing stories that push the boundaries of decency in ways only Tom Segura could imagine. Um, Untold Shooting Guards. This is a basketball one. It's coming on May 6th. What really went down? Hmm?
I heard about that one.
Yeah. What
Uh,
really went down between Gilbert Arenas and is it Javaris? Crinton, whatever. This expose unpacks how a gambling dispute led to guns drawn in an NBA locker room. Um,
Probably Jarvis Quentin or something, or Travis Quentin,
sure,
because like
sure.
The J is silent English class.
Uh,
But
but no, it's only, isn't all, not always silent.
so sometimes you don't know about the English dictionary. Some a lot of these names and words
No, I don't know. Because, you say Jarvis or
that that too.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's not always silent. So I don't know. Um, then there's Chef's Table Legends. It's kind of, well, yeah, this is like a Jamie Oliver type situation, so it's kind of stuff like that. Um, Tyler Perry has a new show coming out, which I have not even finished. Oh, that's one actually forgot to mention. I'm watching a Tyler Perry one right now called
Hmm.
Black Beauty in Black. Well, I haven't finished that one yet either, but he has another one now coming out on May 22nd, season one. It's called Tyler Perry's The She People. Um, a she, I don't know who she is, but anyways, as she tries to shine in politics, Mississippi's first black lieutenant governor must manage her zany family and overcome a boss who's stuck in the past. Uh, um, what else we have? There's one called Bad Boy. It was coming on May 2nd. I believe that's when. Yeah, May 2nd. A comedian recounts how his wit kept him alive inside a brutal juvenile detention center in this raw coming of age drama inspired by true events. We have another one called Cheat. This looks like a Ooh, this looks like a reality television type show.
Mm.
It's called Cheat Unfinished Business, coming on. So it came out today as of this being released. Sudden scandal and second chances collide in this reality show in which former cheaters reconnect with their exes. Okay, remind me of that one. Uh, Sneaky Links, Dating After Dark, coming on May 21st. Um, yeah, I don't know about this one, but it says six singles check into a motel looking for love or something similar. But there's a twist. Their situationships are invited too. Can these hookups turn into real romance? It sounds weird. Anyways,
Mm.
um, there's one called Forever coming on May 8th.
Okay.
United as teens, two childhood friends fall deeply in love, experiencing the joy and heartache of a first romance that will change their lives forever.
Mhm.
Um, let's see what else we got. Britain and the Blitz coming on May 5th. This immersive documentary brings history to life through vividly restored archival footage and first-hand accounts of World War II, Britain during the Blitz. Sounds interesting. Nona's Vince, it looks like Vince Vaughn is in this. At least it looks like Vince Vaughn. It's coming on May 9th. After losing his beloved mother, a man risks everything to honor her by opening an Italian restaurant with actual Nona's grandmothers, in case no one knows, as the chefs. Um, this is interesting. American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden, coming on May 14th, featuring rare footage and interviews with CIA insiders. This Edge of Your Seat documentary series traces the epic hunt for Osama bin Laden. Um, what else we got? Looks like there's a show coming out called Wild Cards, coming on May 1st. Um, and that's basically it.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. All right. Hmm. Not all that stuff that I would probably be interested in, to be honest with you. So,
Well, there could be
other
other
than
things
the
too.
other than the basketball one, but like that's probably not gonna be watching either way either. So, hmm. Hopefully, June's a lot better in my opinion. But
We'll see.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So this ends this special edition of the Netflix April 2025 of this podcast. The Next Take podcast and is available now on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanika.
Solo. Oh no, not solo. God, I'm stuck on solo. Jeez. It's next take podcast dot podpage dot io.
And where else are
Where
we at?
else? Facebook and Instagram at Next Take Podcast and Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Next Take Pod.
Hmm. You can contact us in our email at Tanika at gmail.com. That is Tanika at gmail.com. So, yeah, we just basically listed what we watched April on Netflix. And Tanika gave her three. I gave my three. And also the the shows and movies that are coming on Netflix as well. So, yeah, that's basically it. Um, I guess then we had to wait until next month for our next edition of this episode. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you watch anything outside of Netflix though?
Well, I mean, Golden Girls I've been watching.
Outside of Netflix, like Disney
Golden
Plus.
Girls is outside of Netflix.
Okay.
I've been also still watching the Gypsy Rose one that's on Amazon. Well, for me, it's Amazon,
Yeah,
but Stack TV.
yeah. I just finished watch Daredevil
Mhm.
as well. So that used to be on Netflix. Now, Marvel stuff, blah blah, contracts. corporation type stuff. I don't want to explain it. It's a long story, but like yeah,
No.
just say corporation type stuff. That what's going on. Transfer here to there, blah blah blah, this and that. Okay.
No.
But yeah, I watched that. It's pretty good. Um, show. Overall. Can't wait for season two of Daredevil. I know that Disney is releasing Ironheart as well. If you don't know who Ironheart is, it's basically her name is like Riri. She's like she's like uh Tony Stark. Tony Stark was a woman,
Mhm.
basically, in a way. A little a little girl.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would say that, but she's a bit different than Tony Stark in a lot of ways. She finds the tech like outside and metal and stuff like etc. and just creates her own suit, etc. So she's basically she's basically real in the comics. Her comics was debuted, I believe it was I think it was a year or year before, a year after Miles Morales Spider-Man. Uh, the character name is Riri Williams. Her, to be honest, she was inspired by Rihanna, the singer Rihanna. And then yeah, basically that, and then the creator just basically did magic with the character, a little bit of resemblance to Tony Stark, etc. So that's a show that that's coming. Uh, and then um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be watching Thunderbolts as well in the movie theater. Um, that's another Marvel Studio property. So yeah, I'm going to be watching Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four as well. So like that's coming out like somewhere in, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, July, I would say, I think. But yeah, that's it for me. That's all for me. Anything else, Tanika? Are you watching anything outside of like, Netflix other than Golden Girls?
Um,
Come
I mean,
come May?
all the stuff that I talked about,
Hmm?
especially the Fear Street one. So that's what I'll be doing
Oh, okay.
as much as I can.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm Mikel, and
And I'm Tanika.
we're out until
Um, I think tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. Tomorrow, guys.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.